Welcome to Slice Sports. This is Top 5 in 5, where we break down some of the most iconic moments in sports history. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 Super Bowl upsets of all time. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell. It's the best way to support this work that I do. Let's get into it. At number 5, we have Super Bowl IV, the Chiefs versus the Vikings. The big story of this game is, of course, the AFL versus the NFL and whether or not the AFL can hang, despite the AFL literally winning the championship the year before. In a game that we'll revisit later on in this list, by the way. The Kansas City Chiefs were led by quarterback Len Dawson, and they came into this game as 12-point underdogs to the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings were, of course, led by the Purple People Eaters, one of the greatest defensive units in the history of football. The winner of this Super Bowl did rely on its defense, but it wasn't those Purple People Eaters. It was the Kansas City Chiefs defense forcing 5 turnovers. That was a huge turning point of this game. The thing I love about this game is it is just old school football. The Chiefs defense forcing 5 turnovers. They had 5 different running backs that combined for a total of 140 yards. Absolute smash mouth football. Purple People Eaters did not know what hit them. And with that, the Chiefs were able to secure a 23-7 victory, cementing the AFL's competitive status against the NFL. At number 4, we have Super Bowl 36. The New England Patriots faced off against the St. Louis Rams, aka the greatest show on turf. One of the greatest offenses ever put together in the history of football. Earlier in the year, the Patriots lost star quarterback Drew Bledsoe to an injury, forcing them to turn to a relatively unknown second-year quarterback by the name of Tom Brady. Heading into this Super Bowl, the Patriots were 14-point underdogs. This was tied for the 3rd longest odds in Super Bowl history. Looking back on it now, everybody likes to look at this as Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, but the stat lines show him throwing for 145 yards and a touchdown. Nothing crazy by Brady standards for sure. This Super Bowl is another one won by a great Patriots defense, picking off Kurt Warner 2 times. And then, of course, we all remember Adam Vinatieri, the original New England Super Bowl hero. The Patriots steal the victory from the heavily favored Rams, 20-17, marking their first of 6 Super Bowls over the course of the next 18 years. Coming in at number 3, we got Super Bowl 32, the Broncos versus the Packers. The last 2 upsets were led by great defensive performances, specifically speaking the Broncos' John Elway and MVP Terrell Davis. The John Elway-led Broncos were 11-point underdogs to the Brett Favre-led Packers. In these playoffs, the Packers absolutely rolled through the competition, while the Broncos had a fairly difficult time even getting to the game. Brett Favre definitely won the battle of the quarterbacks, throwing for 3 touchdowns to Elway's 0, but he who wins the battle does not always win the war. The Broncos rushing attack led by MVP Terrell Davis was too much for the Packers defense to stop, and despite those 3 touchdowns by Favre, the Broncos upset the 11-point favorite Packers 31-24. Coming in at number 2, we got Super Bowl 3, the Jets versus the Colts. This is the second and final AFL-NFL championship game on our list, and I really contemplated putting this at number 1 simply based on the betting lines. The New York Jets were a whopping 18-point underdogs in this game. In the NFL championship game, the Colts breezed past the Browns 34-0, avenging their only loss of the season. They were an absolute juggernaut. On the New York side of things, they went a little under the radar, but quarterback Joe Namath quickly put the spotlight on them by guaranteeing a victory. 18-point underdogs guaranteeing a victory. Dude's got balls. Somehow, Namath knew exactly what he was talking about, and his prediction came true. The Jets, led by a great defense and of course Broadway Joe, cruised to a 16-7 victory that not only delivered on Namath's promise, but also marked a pivotal moment in football history, symbolizing the AFL's rise. Topping our list at number 1, I'm sure you could have guessed it from a mile away. We've got Super Bowl 42, Giants versus the undefeated Patriots. Coming into the game, the Patriots were undefeated, 16-0 in the regular season, and they had 2 playoff victories. They were a whopping 18-0, looking to become the first undefeated team since the 1972 Miami Dolphins. The Giants were a team looking like they may miss the playoffs. They snuck in as a wild card, and they were understandably 12-point underdogs, which honestly, I thought it would have been more. This game is absolutely littered with iconic moments, a fierce pass rush from the Giants, and the miraculous helmet catch by David Tyree that I know you've seen a million times. Epitomizes the unpredictability and the drama of football and helped the Giants secure a 17-14 victory in the greatest upset in Super Bowl history. These monumental upsets remind us why the Super Bowl captivates the imagination of fans worldwide, turning underdogs into legends and ordinary moments into unforgettable memories. Which upset do you think was the most unbelievable? Do you think we missed any on our list? Let us know down in the comments. Once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.